The Cotton Bowl at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas takes place December the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Missouri Tigers. This is a top 10 matchup, guys. And I think you could honestly argue this is the best bowl game of bowl season, excluding the college football playoff. Like, purely just bowl games, I think this is probably the most intriguing. I think this is probably the best game, certainly from the SEC slate. Again, outside of Alabama, Michigan, this is the best game, in my opinion, on the docket when you just think about what's at stake, what's on the line, which, again, we'll talk about that in just a second. Missouri, believe it or not, guys, is a 2.5-point favorite in this game. The over-under set at 48.5. This game opened Ohio State as a half-point favorite. Again, it has swung to Missouri minus 2.5. And I think a lot of folks in the SEC, some Arkansas fans, some Gamecock fans, they'll look around and go, how in the world is Missouri favored over Ohio State? Well, I think that also goes into the theme of Missouri being slept on this season, of people underestimating Mizzou. You really have to accept that Missouri is a damn good football team. They are a top 10 football team in 2023. And again, they find themselves as nearly a field goal favorite in this game. And guys, as we move into our top storylines for this ball game, again, a top 10 matchup in Arlington. And guys, for Missouri specifically, it is the chance to cap off a special season for the Missouri Tigers. I mean, guys, who in their right mind had Mizzou winning 10 games this year? Who? I'll give one person credit that I saw over the summer make this pick, and that is Cousin Shane over at That SEC Podcast. That man deserves a medal for that, because you know what? He called it. He went against the grain. He said, you know what? I like this Missouri team. I'm going 10 wins. I think they can win 10 wins. I'll give him credit. Guys, this is one of my coldest takes of 2023. I had Mizzou at 6-6. I did not believe in Eli Drinkwitz. I did not believe in Brady Cook. To be fair, by the way, when we taught Missouri football and we brought the Mizzou guys on over the summer, they were not fans of Brady Cook. They didn't believe in Brady Cook. They thought the backup quarterback should have been the starter from day one. The job that Eli Drinkwitz and company did this season, Brady Cook, how good he was, the performance of the offense with Cody Schrader, what he turned into, Theo Weiss Jr. and Luther Burden on the outside, that defense that was so stingy and so tough all season long. You cannot say enough good things. And guys, I know we live in this era, this day and age of, well, who cares? It's just a bowl game, right? What does it matter? Who cares? Nobody cares about a bowl game. That does not apply here, in my opinion. And I know we talk a lot about motivation factor, and I hate to beat a dead horse and bring that up in every game, but you sort of have to, right? Because it plays a factor. Think about this ball game. You know, for Ohio State, if they beat Missouri in this bowl game, they win the Cotton Bowl, it'll be cool, but will it really matter in the grand scheme? No. Ohio State fell short of their expectations this year. A win over Missouri is not going to change that. Buckeye fans aren't all of a sudden going to be jumping for joy and, you know, elated at the fact they won the Cotton Bowl and beat the Missouri Tigers. I don't think anybody in Buckeye Nation is going to be really moved by a victory like that. So win or lose, Ohio State is Ohio State. Their brand, what they are as a program, that stands out above all else. But for Missouri, guys, for Missouri, a program that has this chip on their shoulder, and for good reason, by the way, for good reason, because they're disrespected at every turn. No matter how many games they win, no matter how many winning streaks they have over South Carolina, over Arkansas, you've still got fans from those fan bases and others saying Missouri doesn't belong in the SEC. They're not a SEC team. They're not legit SEC like we are or they are or this is or whatever. What a win over Ohio State. Getting to 11 wins, what that would do for Eli Drinkwitz and the Missouri football program. Again, you can say bowl games don't mean anything. That doesn't apply here, guys. That doesn't apply here. And I doubt Eli Drinkwitz, I doubt he got the memo that bowl games mean nothing. I doubt Missouri fans and the Missouri program will have gotten the memo if they go out there and beat Ohio State. Oh, by the way, bowl games mean nothing. BS is what they'll call. And I call BS as well, guys. To go out like a program like Mizzou and beat a program like Ohio State with their name brand and would be massive for what Eli Drinkwitz is building in Como. Guys, something that goes in Mizzou's favor. Devin Brown getting the start at quarterback for Ohio State as Kyle McCord is out in this ball game. Of course, guys, he has entered the transfer portal. Now, was he forced out? Did McCord just want to go? We know now he is visiting Nebraska. So what can Devin Brown do? Obviously, a guy that's supremely talented. He's very talented, but I mean, has not really played all season long. The transfer portal, declaring for the draft, those things have really affected Ohio State. And again, it affects them at the most important position on the field. That is the quarterback position. Guys, and the big storyline for me, I know we talk a lot about Brady Cook, but going in this game, I'm saying let Cody cook. Cody Schrader, who was fantastic for Missouri this season. On the offensive side, guys, it starts with the running game. Again, I think you could argue Cody Schrader, guys, was the best running back in the SEC this year. He won the Burlsworth Award, which is the best former walk-on award. He averaged 196 yards from scrimmage, 6.3 yards per carry. Guys, he even ran for 112 yards against Georgia, one of the best defenses in college football. So Cody Schrader is their due. When things are working out well, Cody Schrader's productive, and he's been productive a lot this season. So really excited to see how Ohio State keys in on Cody Schrader and what Schrader can do against that Buckeyes defense, because, again, it starts with Cody. Let Cody cook. Guys, on the other side, how does Missouri slow down Marvin Harrison Jr.? That's a big matchup in this game. Chris Abrams-Drain is going to be tested, and I mean tested a lot in this ball game. Maserati Marv will be featured early and often. Of course, you got a guy like a Devin Brown, young quarterback, hadn't played a lot. He's going to lean on running game, but when he throws the football, you best believe he's going to go to his top target, and that guy is Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver for what my money's worth in college football. That matchup on the outside, going to be a lot of fun. And, guys, I already talked about it, but the motivation factor, I think, again, in a game like this, it's really something you got to consider for a program like Ohio State, right? They were all set on, we got to beat Michigan, we got to make the playoff, and then you don't. And then you get left out. And guys say, well, the ultimate goal is out of the picture. I'm hitting the portal. I'm declaring for the draft. I'm doing this. I got one foot out the door. Coaches are leaving. Players are leaving. Whatever. For Missouri, that entire two deep practically is intact, guys. Heck, Missouri's out there picking up guys in the portal. People looking at Mizzou like, man, I want to go there, man. I want to go to Missouri and go win big. So they've got their full squad ready to go. Motivation levels are at an all-time high. Ohio State is still one of the most talented teams in college football. But, guys, I think there's a reason you're seeing Missouri favored in the game. I think that's a big part of it. I think roster tension and keeping the guys together for the game. Also, the motivation factor of, again, does Ohio State really want to be playing in the Cotton Bowl? I think you could argue no. That being said, guys, brings me to my prediction for this one. Again, Missouri and Ohio State, December the 29th, 8 o'clock kick on ESPN in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium. A lot on the line here, guys. I mean, especially for Missouri. Again, for Ohio State, you win the Cotton Bowl, who cares? When your aspirations are national title or bust, what does it really matter? On the flip side, you got a Missouri team that a win over Ohio State, guys, going in the offseason, all of a sudden going into a new SEC with OU in Texas, guys, all of a sudden, we go from talking about Missouri as 500, 6-6. Eli Drinkwitz is the Jeff Fisher of college football, right? What I said a lot over the summer. We go from talking about that to, hey, Missouri is a college football playoff dark horse. We're realistically having that conversation. I love what Mizzou has done this season with Cody Schrader. He's one of the best backs in college football, guys. They've got elite weapons on the outside with Luther Burden, Theo Weiss Jr. Brady Cook has been fantastic this year for them, operating the offense defensively, guys. Again, they're a nasty, stingy defense. They're a tough defense. I cannot wait to watch the matchup between Chris Abrams-Drain on the Missouri side and Marvin Harrison Jr. on the Ohio State side. I do think opt-outs will take their toll in this game. I think Devin Brown, starting quarterback for Ohio State, what can you realistically expect from him? So I think the Ohio State offense will struggle. I think this is a fun back-and-forth ball game, guys, but I think this is yet another game where motivation factor is going to play a big role. And I think Mizzou guys have just got far more to play for in this game. Like Ryan Day, his toughest job is convincing these Ohio State dudes that this game matters to Buckeye Nation, convincing these Ohio State dudes that this game matters in the grand scheme of things for Ohio State. Win or lose, Ohio State's still going to be Ohio State. I think Missouri's looking at this game as like, this is our Super Bowl. This is our opportunity to, on a national scale, show that not only does Missouri, quote unquote, belong in the SEC, but that Missouri football is one of the best in the SEC. And I think the Tigers will do that. I got the boys from Como getting the win. Lock me in. Give me Missouri 27, Ohio State 23. Again, guys, in a game that I think it's the best bowl game in all of college football, excluding the college football playoff. Tigers and Buckeyes set to do battle in what should be an absolute classic.